Jwwilliams Funeral Directors have been proudly serving the people of this community since 1918. Service is our motto. The poor, the rich, the middle class, and all are given the best of care and attention at all times. You have the privilege to select what you want. In your time of need, contact the capable, the competent, and the dependable staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home who is genuinely concerned with your care. At Jwwilliams Funeral Home, you are aptly served by the proprietor president, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, who continues the traditions and values set forth by the past president, Dr. Napoleon Williams. Your announcers for the Jwwilliams Funeral Home Sunday morning program are Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Reverend Isaac H. Owens, Mrs. Calandra Wilkerson Parker, Minister Frankie Harmon, Miss Sandra Johnson, and Deacon Earl Clark, Jr.
Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of Mrs. Mary Lee Wilkerson Douglas of Americus, Georgia. The family of Master Sergeant Jackie Dennis Walker, United States Army retired, of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Deacon Godfrey L. Ray of Moultrie, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Ira Belinda Harris Brown of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. Mrs. Mary Lee Wilkerson Douglas, age 77, of 1420 Norris Street, Americus, Georgia, died Tuesday, April 22nd, at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Mary Lee Wilkerson Douglas, age 77, was held Sunday, April 27th, in the sanctuary of the Antioch Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Ricky Cladd, officiated. The eulogy was delivered by her pastor, the Reverend Jesse Watts, pastor of the Old Shady Grove Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The burial followed at the Eastview Cemetery in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted husband and caregiver, Mr. Hollis Douglas Sr. of Americus, Georgia. 3 loving and devoted children, Mr. Hollis Douglas Jr. and his wife, Mrs. Pam Douglas, Mr. Arthur Douglas, and Mrs. Teresa Cladd and her husband, Deacon Dexter Cladd, all of Americus, Georgia. 8 beloved grandchildren, Miss Holly Douglas of Grayston, Georgia, Mr. Mikhail Douglas of Roswell, Georgia, Mr. Chaz Douglas, Mr. Jacoby Douglas, and Miss Asia Cladd, all of Columbus, Georgia. Mr. Keel Ivory of Douglasville, Georgia, and Miss Adrena Douglas and Mr. Marcus Douglas, both of Americus, Georgia. 4 beloved great-grandchildren, her beloved and devoted sister, Miss Elizabeth Wilkerson of Americus, Georgia, her brothers and sisters-in-law, a host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Mrs. Mary Lee Wilkerson Douglas, age 77, of 1420 Norris Street, Americus, Georgia. Master Sergeant Jackie Dennis Walker, United States Army, retired, age 65, of 805 South Pecan Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, April 24th, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service with full military honors for Master Sergeant Jackie Dennis Walker, United States Army, retired, age 65, was held Wednesday, April 30th, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Isaac H. Owens, pastor of the Mount Calvary Baptist Church, officiated. The burial followed at the Pleasant Hill Baptist Church Cemetery, Hatley Community, Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted son, Mr. Trayvon D. Walker of Chicago, Illinois. His beloved sisters, Miss Toni Nance and Mrs. Jacqueline D. Walker, his twin, both of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved brother, Master Gunnery Sergeant Troy L. Walker, retired, and his wife, Mrs. Jan Walker of Orlando, Florida. A beloved aunt, Mrs. Elizabeth Walker of Macon, Georgia. A host of nieces and nephews, to include Mr. Jeffrey Walker and Mr. Dwayne Nance of Cordele, Georgia. A host of cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive. Master Sergeant Jackie Dennis Walker, United States Army, retired, age 65, of 805 South Pecan Street, Cordele, Georgia. Deacon Godfrey Leander Ray, age 66, of 1212 3rd Street Southeast, Moultrie, Georgia, died Saturday, April 26, at the Archbald Medical Center in Thomasville, Georgia. The funeral service for Deacon Godfrey Leander Ray, age 66, was held Saturday, May 3rd, in the sanctuary of the Little Rock Baptist Church in Araby, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Joseph Green, officiated. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Kathy Kellogg Ray of Moultrie, Georgia. His loving and devoted daughters, Mrs. McQuail Thomas and her husband, Mr. Joe Thomas of Moultrie, Georgia. Miss Pietri Paul of Warner Robins, Georgia. Miss LaShondra Ray of Valdosta, Georgia. And Miss Keishandra Ray of Moultrie, Georgia. 9 beloved grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, his devoted siblings, Mrs. Josephine Knight of Palm Bay, Florida, Stuart Charles Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia, Mrs. Nelsa Singleton of Palm Beach, Florida, the Reverend Lorinda Ray of Cordele, Georgia, Mrs. Betty Brown of Jacksonville, Florida, Mrs. Marilyn Hopper of Cordele, Georgia, Dr. Jennifer Ray of Savannah, Georgia, Deacon Ronnie Ray and his wife, Minister Cheryl Ray, and Mr. Bobby Ray and his wife, Mrs. Tamika Ray of Cordele, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survived. Deacon Godfrey Leander Ray, age 66, of 1212 3rd Street, Southeast Moultrie, Georgia. Mrs. Ira Belinda Harris Brown, age 72, of 1208 South 15th Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Tuesday, April 29th at a residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mrs. Ira Belinda Harris Brown, age 72, was held Saturday, May 3rd, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Her beloved brother, the Reverend Nikita Lester, pastor of the New William Grove Baptist Church, officiated. The burial followed at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted sons, Mr. Nikita Harris, Mr. Freddie B. McLeod Jr., and Mr. Frederick McLeod, all of Cordele, Georgia. 5 beloved grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren, her beloved brothers, Mr. Lonnie Walker and his wife, Mrs. Barbara Walker, Mr. Johnny Lester, the Reverend Nikita Lester and his wife, Mrs. Eddie Mae Lester, all of Cordele, Georgia. Mr. Archie Lester and his wife, Mrs. Alice Lester of Americus, Georgia. And Mr. David Lester and his wife, Mrs. Renee Lester of El Paso, Texas. Her beloved aunt, Mrs. Ruby Walker of Tallahassee, Florida. A devoted niece, Mrs. Adrian Smith of Vienna, Georgia. 4 beloved sisters-in-law, 2 brothers-in-law, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many cherished friends survived. Mrs. Ira Belinda Harris Brown, age 72, of 1208 South 15th Street, Cordele, Georgia. Again, the family of Mrs. Mary Lee Wilkerson Douglas of Americus, Georgia. The family of Master Sergeant Jackie Dennis Walker, United States Army retired, of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Deacon Godfrey L. Ray of Moultrie, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Ira Belinda Harris Brown of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. The infant Susie Marie Cross of 305 West 24th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Wednesday, April 30th, at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving parents, Miss Jordan Z. Cross of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Tarana M. Jordan Sr. of Vienna, Georgia, her sister Little Toriana Marie Jordan of Cordele, Georgia, her brother Master Caden Cross and Master Torian Malik Jordan of Cordele, Georgia, her grandparents Miss Deidre M. Cross of Douglasville, Georgia, and Miss Lynette Manning of Vienna, Georgia. Her loving aunts and uncles, Mr. Xavier Sanders of Birmingham, Alabama, Mr. Zayon Cross of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Braylon Cross, Mr. Cedric Johnson, both of Douglasville, Georgia, and Miss Adaja Jwwilliams and Mr. Quintavious Cross, both of Warner Robins, Georgia. A host of other relatives survived the infant Susie Marie Cross of 305 West 24th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. The memorial service for the infant Susie Marie Cross will be held Saturday, May 10th at 10 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. Miss Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, of 609 East 4th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, April 19th at the Emory St. Joseph Hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. Survivors include a beloved sister, Miss Lona May Taylor of Fayetteville, Georgia, her loving relatives, the Rogers, the Johnson, and Taylor families survived Miss Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, of 609 East 4th Avenue, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Dora Jean Taylor, age 69, will be held Saturday, May 10th in the sanctuary of the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Cordele, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Greg Williams, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Bethel Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be Friday, May 9th from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Edward Charles Curry, age 67, of 319 Railroad Street, Oakfield, Georgia, died Thursday, May 1st at Pruitt Health Sylvester in Sylvester, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Mr. Desmond Hope of Sylvester, Georgia, Miss Sharita Brown of Cordele, Georgia, Miss Adrian Hope of Sylvester, Georgia, 7 beloved grandchildren, 1 great-grandson, his beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Dorothy Bird and her husband, Mr. Bonnie Bird of Oakfield, Georgia, Mrs. Gwendolyn Hoskin of Leesburg, Georgia, Mrs. Gloria Gant and her husband, the Reverend Eddie Gant of Albany, Georgia, and Mrs. Cassandra Evans and her husband, Mr. Broderick Evans of Sylvester, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Ricky Curry of Oakfield, Georgia, Mr. Nathaniel Curry and his wife, Mrs.